Hello friends, welcome to Study with Sunrise. So today we are here with a new topic. It is demographic dividend. It is very important topic for us to know as India is now the youngest nation in the world and it is having the biggest demographic dividend. It's like the working age population is much more in India and this can reap the benefit in developing the economy of India and competing with other developed nation and developing nation. This was the introduction of the topic which we are going to discuss. Let's dig in the topic and discuss how relevant it is for our exam point of view and how relevant it is in the answer writing. Okay, so first of all, demographic dividend, which I have mentioned already, and just a minute. And India is the youngest nation in the world. Fine. Working age population is much more than the dependents. Dependents, as you know, the child and old people. So in the middle, the people are much more in India, and they are actually the working age population, and they are going to earn money. They are going to go into the economic factor. They are going to have some growth. They are going to bring some remittances. They are going to bring some economic value to our country. Okay, so let's move into the data and look here. 55.8 percentage are in the working age population right now. It is 20 to 59 years, and it is going to get increased to 58.9% in 2041. Fine, but in the coming decade it will be 9.7 million per year increase in the demographic dividend. Har saal 9.7 million people will get into demographic dividend like the working age population, but this scenario will get decreased in the next decade. This is 2031 to 2041. Only 4.2 million people will get into the dividend. This is actually happening because the population in the working age will get depleted. ये क्या होगा कि वर्किंग एज वाले पॉपुलेशन फिर ओल्ड होने शुरू हो जाएंगे एंड न्यू ग्रोथ इट इज़ लेस इन इंडिया. विल डिस्कस दिस टॉपिक अहेड why the new growth will be less and how this factor is going to impact the Indian economy. Okay, and first of all we'll see some historical point of view, how it has managed in the earlier time and how it is going to manage in the future. Fine. Okay, so first of all, in historical evidence, India was very good at its work culture and huge output was coming. We were the net exporter. This actually means that we were using our raw material very efficiently and the work power was much more efficient, and we were exporting item and we were also called gold bird. Fine. So the craftsmanship was very good at that time. The vocational courses were developing in Takshashila and Nalanda. Okay, so vocational courses are having a great impetus on the economic section because it is actually the work which the people used to do, which the people will do in the sector, like the hand to hand work which they will be doing, not just the theoretical part. It is important for people and the skilled person to know. Okay, let's move ahead. First of all, now two types of training is going on. First is vocational and the second one is formal. The vocational course, as people usually treat the courses like the one which is actually done by the dropouts and those who are not good at formal education. ये कोर्स को उतना ध्यान नहीं दिया जाता है. Everyone thinks like this is just the course for the dropouts, so not that great. So people usually focus on formal education. There are many engineers in our country who are very good at the theoretical part of things but lack in vocational part, lack in the concept, lack in the field work. So actually the field work will matter, not the conceptual thing. So this thing should go hand in hand. They should go parallelly, the vocational and the formal education. Okay, so as to develop both education and a healthy body, intellectual skill plus educational skill is required. So both education, like in formal and educational, formal and vocational, both are required right now. Let's move ahead. Just a minute. India needs skill based education. Why is the demand going for the skill based education, why it is important, and how it is different from the other economic country, and how we are standing in respect to the skill based education. First of all, we have seen the polytechnics and industrial training units. They are providing skill education to the workers and they are going into the field and doing the work. Okay, so how the benefit comes, they help build a foundation for vocational training. Okay, so this was the basic reason for the start of Skill India mission. This got started in 2015 by our Prime Minister. Okay, let's see the sorry. Let's see the recent report. Not the recent report. This report came in 2014. How what it showed: low skilled trained person in India. Only 2.3%, 2 to 3 or 2.3% of the population who were working were actually skilled. Apart from that, persons were not skilled, they were just doing the work. This was not actually great for Indian point of view. Let's compare with some other country. South Korea, sorry, South Korea at that point of time were having 96% of the skilled trained person in their country. Japan 80%, UK 68%, US 52%. So just imagine what the GDP will be, how it will be with respect to India, and what shall be the per capita income, and how the FDI will be coming from these countries to India. Okay, first of all, this question will be there, and why maximum products like from car to bike, from needle to pen, from everything actually comes from outside, and why this is getting benefits, why they are getting benefits, why the FDIs are coming from these places. Actually, all the reason behind this is the skill the people are having in this country. Okay, so for going in parallel with these country, there was a need to develop Skill India mission. There was a need to develop and focus our knowledge on this skill based education. Okay, let's move ahead. Okay, fine. So actually 62% of Indian population are working currently. Okay, again this is limited. Okay, so till 2041, as we have discussed earlier, till 2041 only we are having this moment to gain the economic value, to gain from the demographic dividend. After that, the population will be in the dependent side, and we will be having less to go into the economic front. So this scenario is currently in case of China. They are facing the same issue, so they are proposing child uh, the recent law was there, child birth, some new laws are there, two child policy or three child policy they have acquired. So this is not actually required in India right now, but China has acquired this thing because their population in the working age are getting declined day by day, and in the dependent section they are actually increasing. So dependent and working, they plays a basic role in developing of a country's economy. Okay, child birth ratio prefer, now currently you can see many persons, many parents do prefer only one child because of the economic factor, and they need to get the child into the education sector, which is becoming very costly, the health sector and other sectors. So people are actually preferring only one child. This might be the reason, this will be the reason for India's working population to get declined. So the recent opportunity which we are having till 2041, it's a golden period for us to achieve the great height which we were having earlier. So this is the reason why this topic has been in the hot topic. So we'll discuss further and see what benefits and how it is getting developed, what steps the government has taken in the recent past for these things. Okay. First of all, a dedicated Ministry of Skill Development and Entrepreneurship in 2014 was developed. This can come as a prelims question, not directly, but you should be remembering when this thing happened, in which year it got developed. Okay, World Skill Day is developed on 15th July, but in 2015 India launched Skill India mission to train 40 crore people by 2022. Okay, this thing, Skill India mission, is chaired by our Prime Minister. Fine, and in this only there was national policy on skill development and entrepreneurship. This portal, this thing actually recommended sector skill council. And what is this sector skill council? We'll discuss this. Particularly in each sector there should be a criteria for judging, there should be a criteria for selecting people into that sector who are great in the field. Not everyone shall be important for that particular sector. So sector wise they have divided the thing, and they are actually taking out professionals from there and involving them in the working. Fine. So there are actually professional standard setting, they are setting the standards, capacity building bodies, contain public and private sector both. Fine. Some examples are Agriculture Council of India, Aerospace and Aviation Sector Skill Council, Hydrocarbon Sector Skill Council, etc. So these are some kind of a governing body which are having both private and public sector workers, professionals. They are setting the benchmark. They are taking people from for those sector only in which they are specialized, not everyone, because specialized person will have more output, will give more output, will give more benefit to the company. So this is important, right? And first of all, involvement of leading industry players. So the industrial players actually know what the demand will be in the future, how the industry will go, what all raw material can be benefit for them, how the working will go, everything they are knowing because they are in the field. They are actually working, they are actually dealing with the global partners, everything. So the involvement of these players in the sector skill council is important. This was actually a good framework developed by our government to decide how the people will come into that sector, which all people will come, how the specialization will be there, what will be the task, and how the qualification and criteria will be set up. Okay, so they are actually going to design a curriculum relevant to the industry on day-to-day basis. They will offer internship and jobs. First of all, they are a placement portal also developing in that sector. Okay, this was for sector skill development or council. Total 36 sector skill council are operational as of now. And yes, first of all, important. This thing is important. National skill qualification framework for setting qualification acquired via a formal or informal section. What happened? You must be knowing every knowledge can't be acquired formally. There are some informal ways, like by parents, like by some teachers who are not qualified, but they are giving some education to us, by some of our seniors. These all come under the informal sector. Formal sector, you must be knowing school, colleges, universities, etc. etc. So, in formal sector and formal sector, the people who are not able to go into the colleges and reputed schools and all that, where they will go if they are not having that much money? Their localites, teachers might be helping them, their parents might be helping them, their grandfathers, grandmothers might be helping them. These all knowledge comes under the informal sector. So to provide qualification, to setting the qualification, this national skill qualification framework was set up. This actually put quality assurances, like if they are actually having that kind of knowledge, they didn't consider whether it is formal or informal. They just need to know whether the relevant knowledge is there or not. It is important because as of now every person are not having that much capability to go into the higher education, having that much of fees to acquire that kind of knowledge. Okay, so this was a big challenge or big rock in front of us. This was removed via this kind of initiative. Okay, let's move ahead. Decision sorry Division between manual labor and intellectual labor. There was actually a distinction or a differences going on between manual labor and intellectual labor. This actually harmed our country. Everyone thought the manual labor are not that much of what quality, they are not having that much of quality, and intellectual labors or the intellectual people are only having that kind of quality work. But if both of them are going parallelly, then only the development can take place, because with intellectual thing you can't just do any kind of work. You need to do the labor work, you need to do the manual work to acquire the final output. Okay, so for this thing only skill india mission, skill development mission, pradhan mantri kaushal vikas yojana and all that, we'll be seeing forward with these things. Now vocational courses differ. Consider for them who are not strong academically. Actually vocational courses are considered for them who are not strong academically. They were treated like a low people, low grade people, but now this notion has to go away if we want the development of economy in our country. Okay, let's see forward with the new example. Pradhan Mantri Kaushal Vikas Yojana, this was launched in 2015. Again this year is relevant. How it is relevant? The skill india mission, everything goes into this part, because government got to know after the 2014 report that indian peoples are not that much skilled in respect to the other countries. And with this much of land mass, with this much of resources in our hand, with this much of vast coastal areas, if people are not equipped with skills. In the recent coming years, the technological part will impede on us, will like downgrade us all the time. So there was a need to develop the skill within us. This year was relevant, and the steps taken by the government was laudable. Now let's move and see what was the aim of Pradhan Mantri Kaushal Vikas Yojana. Providing free short duration skill training, monetary reward to youth for skill certification. Monetary reward comes handy because people actually think that they have done some work, and if people are getting money for showcasing their skill and talent, they will actually do that thing and they will participate in more number. Wherever or wherever they are called, whenever they are called, they will be going there to participate, and they will be feeling good if they are getting some kind of money as a reward for their work which they have done. Okay, so the next session, Pradhan Mantri Kausal Vikas Yojana second 2.0, it was also a great victory. Recognition of prior learning certification. If you have done any kind of courses earlier apart from this kind of short duration training, they are going to give you certification for that part also. It is not required that you need to do everything in that short duration only. If you have done something earlier, you just need to prove them, you just need to show them that you are skilled with this, you are equipped with this all activities. They will be giving certification to you, and you can just go into some other industry and showcase that thing and get a job. It's not that easy, but yeah, that thing will be there, it will be in hand. Fine. Now what has happened, you guys must be knowing the recent development, national education policy of 2020. This actually have a great focus on our vocational training and skill development. This shows exposure to our vocational training at school level only. Now it is not like you need to be at 11th or 12th or 8th, you are not getting qualified into the formal section of education and you need to go for the vocational training. Now it will be from the school level only, from the basic school level. Aim will be every child should learn at least one vocational training. Fine. And coding classes will be organized from class text only for the future job readiness. And steps, National Committee for Integration of Vocational Education. Okay. And Niti Aayog's initiatives are AIM, Atal Innovation Mission, and Sathi. Okay, this was in parallel with Odisha government. So this was all here. Why it was needed, why we have chosen this topic, because it is actually a bedrock topic for us, for Indians, to know how we are going to proceed into the next future, in the next decade, to improve our economic value in the global market, how we are going to utilize this demographic dividend, which is like a golden period for us. We are having a 20-year gap, we are having a 20-year timeline for us to develop into some kind of useful thing to develop our economic value in global scenarios. Okay, so this was all here from our side, this was all here from Study with Sunrise. We are going to bring you every day some kind of good topics which will be relevant with data and with concept from previous to past, from like past basic, everything we are going to cover here. So just be with us. It's and I guess you have seen the earlier videos. We'll be putting this PDF in our Telegram channel. Just go and have the PDF from there. Thanks a lot, guys. Have a good day. Bye.